Hello my bunnies, it's Tiki's Trinkets here, and today I have for y'all another polymer clay tutorial. Today I am doing my tutorial for my bearded dragon, and he is just kind of like looking into a little pot thing that I had. I had a bunch of these little wooden pots that are here everywhere. They're like this that I got from, I believe it was Hobby Lobby, I think. Sorry if it looks so bright and I'm not looking at the camera a lot. I have my torch light on so you can actually see my face. But I thought you would appreciate that and be able to see the sculpture better. And again, back to the little tiny pots. I just thought it would look really cute with his color palette because I was trying to do like a really natural bearded dragon palette. I looked up bearded dragons on Google Images. My fiance used to have one as a child, but I don't actually know what, I think his name was Grubs. I don't actually know what he looked like. So I just looked up the most common type of bearded dragon that I could find on Google Images, and I wanted to kind of recreate the pattern he had. So the tan colored clay is one color, then it's also textured with little dots using a dotting tool, and then you'll see that there's mica powder streaks going down his body. And then since he also has black eyes, I decided to do the base black and just paint little paint splatters on the pot itself. Kind of give it like that rusticy feel. Almost like a natural feel, since I mean it is, hello, a bearded dragon. I put my hand up because I know it's so bright. But yeah, and that's what this tutorial is going to be. Next week I will have another My Singing Monsters tutorial. It's going to be Pom Pom. And just a little sneaky peeky. If you watch this long in the video, she's not finished yet, but that's just a little sneak peek for everybody who watches this far into my videos, because I know not everybody watches the whole intro, nor watches the whole video, because I know they're rather long, but I promise if you follow my tutorials, you'd actually learn how to make what I make. It might not look exactly like mine, but it might be really, really close, because I've just been doing it since 2013 or 2014. I've been doing it a rather long time. And sometimes when I forget how to make things, I look up my own videos and watch it so I can remember how to make things. Like most recently I did that with Gabbie from Deltarune, one of the bad guys, quote unquote, from the game. I forgot exactly everything on how to make him, so I looked up that video and that helped me out. Nice and easy. Also, I did my nails this week. I just want to take the time to talk to you guys before the video. And I also got these new pizza lights strung up on my desk back here. Yeah, there we go. Back here. I don't have batteries in them yet, so I don't know what they look like yet with lights on them. But once I get batteries, those will always be lit up in all of my intros from now on. Alright. I've been talking very long, so let's go ahead and go on into this. Stay tuned next week for my videos, or for my sister's videos as well. Don't forget to go check out her video that I posted on Wednesday. It's her April favorites. And thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to put in requests down below if you'd like to see anything. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get into this. See you there. Alright, for this tutorial we're going to dive right in. I pre-rolled all the balls I need on the left. The color I used this tan on the right. And I'm also going to be using this pot and this wooden plate, which I got both from Hobby Lobby. I just went on ahead and pre-glued this with E6000 because it's a better one to actually use if you're going to bake it. Next, we're going to start with the large size ball, and you're going to roll it till it's pointed on one end like a teardrop shape, and then roll it between your thumb and index so that you can get the elongated shape on the left hand side. Next, I just pointed that end out to make it more like a reptilian head. And you'll see later that his head gets kind of smushed, but you know, that's after working with it so much. And then I posed it on the pot how I wanted it to look. Next, we're going to move on to the legs. So we're going to take these two balls in the front and roll them into very long teardrop shapes. They're about 1 inch in length. Then taking your fingers, just press down very gently so that the tops will be rounded and the bottoms will be flat. Once you do that, it should look something like this. Then after that, just take your X-Acto blade or whatever you use to cut and cut 2 triangles out of both of the bottom parts, like so that it has little pointed tootsies. I made it more pointy because, you know, they have really small little claw things, so that's what I was going for. Then I bent them at an angle because also bearded dragons have bent legs, and then I cut the excess off so that it'd be flat to attach to the body. Next, I just took them, the left and the right, and position them on the body how I wanted them. And I also used a tool, the blue tool you see in the background, a blending tool, to blend it into the body. I know the legs look darker than the other torso, but it's supposed to be the same beige, but I might have used Primo and Sculpey mixed together, and it was actually a cool effect, so maybe try it out. It was unintentional though. Next, we're going to go ahead and go on to the arms. Same thing we did with the legs. Roll them in the teardrop shapes, about the same length. Press them down with your fingers, just like before. Get your X-Acto blade and cut out the fingers that'll look just like the toes. Voila. And just like with the ones before, cut off the excess, but we're not going to bend these. Just cut them off at the top, just like this. Because technically, their legs are a little bit bent in the front, but I needed it to be straight to go up the pot like how I wanted. After you do that, you can go ahead and get cotton swabs and rubbing alcohol and clean off the entire piece to make sure there's no more dust and hair on it. And I used 3 cotton swabs, and this was the end result. And trust me, it pulled off a lot of hair. There was some hair and dirt and dust on this thing. Next, I used dotting tools to indent the little, I guess it's their ears. I don't know the anatomy of bearded dragons too well, but they had these holes on the side of their head. Then I took this little pointed rake looking tool, or you can just use a regular dotting tool, and indented little dots all over the body to give it that scaly look. Next, I took my dotting tool that I used for the ears and indented the nostrils. And then I got one little very small paintbrush, and I got my silver, well, it's pewter colored mica powder, and just brushed lines all over his body, because the picture I used for reference, it had like lines up and down, but there were some with lines side to side, but this was just the way I chose it. Next, I went on ahead and stuck the beaded eyes on where I want them to be at, just so I could see how it looks. And then I went on ahead and made the eyelids, which I needed 2 more balls of tan color clay, which I forgot earlier. And I rolled them into circles and then just cut it in half. And then after that, you take the 2 halves and put them above the eyes. Perfect. Then once you got the eyelids on the head, and make sure they're blended pretty well to the head so they won't come off, just take your X-Acto blade and scoop them right out of the eye sockets. That sounds very wrong, I'm sorry for that, but that's just how we make it. And then I took my texturing tool and textured the eyelids as well, so it continued the texturing throughout the body. Next, I took some toothpicks and cut the tips off and used my needle nose pliers to gently put them into the head to make it look like he has spikes. You could do extra spikes, but I just went minimal and just did the back of the head ones. Next, I took my black acrylic paint, and you already know this from the beginning of the video, I painted the base and just dotted the pot. And as you can see, it's not even baked yet, and he's still standing up straight. That's so cool. I didn't even use wiring. Next, I took crazy glue and went on ahead and glued him to the pot. But this didn't hold. After he got done baking, I had to use E6000, so you could just wait and bake him afterwards. Just prop him up against the pot in the meantime. Next, after he has been baked, after he was baked and cooled down, I used Loctite glue to put his eyes back into his head. And then I got my polyacrylic floor varnish and glazed him up with 2 coats and the pot up. And he was done. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks so much for watching as always. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye, my bunnies.